Welcome to the Oakles channel, thanks for watching today, and welcome to the final boss of the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. The promised Consort Radahn and Radahn Consort of Miquella, and holy cow, what a fight. There are so many different ways I've tried to go through this battle, and it is just an extraordinarily difficult fight, but there is a way that you can go through it, which I'm going to call a cheese way, that is just extraordinarily easy, and you will probably get them beat maybe first, second try. If you have a very high level, like anything over 200, like I can't imagine you even remotely possibly losing this particular fight. And so we're going to do a method here. I'm going to call it the shield rot method is what I'm going to deem this particular version. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to have a giant shield, and we're going to basically have a rapier that has the scarlet rot built into it, and we're going to continue to poke over our shield while keeping our defense. And a fantastic way to go out this particular boss, because they are susceptible to scarlet rot, and they are also going to deal out so much damage you can block all of it with your shield. But let's get into the very specifics of this particular build. Now you are going to want to change some of your stats around if you do not have this particular stats to hold this particular shield. The shield is a vital part of this particular strategy. Now I'm using the fingerprint stone shield, and it does require 48 strength. So you're going to have at least 48 strength, and so you may have to respec your character a little bit in order to get that, but you are going to need it for this particular battle, and it's going to block like nearly everything. Now as far as the weapon I'm going to go with to hit over it, I'm going to go with the Antsburg Rapier, and I've upgraded to plus 25. And the reason I went with this is because obviously you can have your shield up and poke at the same time, but also it applies Scarlet Rot. And if you watch my channel at all, you know I love my Scarlet Rot. I'm not going to finish the game without it, and it's also a great thing to continue to tick away their HP even when you're not fighting. And for this particular fight, you're going to need it. Now as far as my armor goes, I generally go off the, I don't know, the gunslinger cowboy here, but for this particular fight, I'm definitely going to have to change it up and have this ugly creation of armor. I basically just simply sorted my armor where it showed the max amount of damage negation, and I picked everything at the max. And so I created a very ugly creature here, but a very tanky creature at the same time. Now as far as my medallions, I am going with the Crimson Amber Medallion plus 3, raise my HP, the Erdtree Favor plus 2, raise my maximum HP, stamina equipment load, the two-headed turtle talisman, which is going to increase my stamina recovery speed, which is vital when keeping that shield up, doing a tank build, because you're going to have to basically block so many attacks, and when you have a moment to let the shield down, you want that stamina to recover as fast as possible. And then I'm also having the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman plus 2, which vastly boosts physical damage negation. Now as far as the mixed physique, I'm once again doing a stamina recovery for that, and I'm also doing damage negation on that as well. And so I'm basically trying to eliminate as much damage as possible and then recover my stamina as fast as possible in order to do this shield rapier method. Now as soon as you go into the fog gate here, Radahn almost always just like blast at you with a charge, but every now and then he doesn't. So it's like maybe like a 40% chance he doesn't. In this particular battle here, he didn't, so go ahead and call your mimic out. And once you get your mimic out, he's going to blast towards you. You can either block this since you're doing like a massive tank build, or you can try to dodge through it. Whichever, doesn't really matter a whole lot for this particular build. Now at this point, you're waiting for your mimic to come alive here. And so you basically just simply hold your shield up and tank every single hit that he's going to give you. And you can see like how amazing this build truly is as far as like what this shield can tank, how much damage is negated because of this massive armor I have on as well. And basically while this is going on, you can simply use your rapier to poke over your shield and do a decent bit of damage, but also build up that Scarlet Rot at the exact same time. Now my recommendation as far as watching your stamina bar goes, anytime you have an opportunity to let the shield down, let it down for a second, pull it back up. Even if it's like half a second, that's going to be a little bit of stamina recovered and get that shield right back up. I don't recommend doing a whole lot of attacks with your rapier if you have under 50% stamina, because you don't want to sort of take a chance on him staggering you or busting your shield block and all that. And so only if you have over 50%, continue to do it with the stab here, and your mimic is going to be doing the exact same thing. Scarlet Rot's going to build up in no time, damage is going to build up in no time, and phase 1 is over before you know it. Now I did forget to mention in phase 1, I do recommend staying next to the wall, because if you stay next to the wall, most of his attacks are going to come down from the sky as far as like meteors and whatnot. They can't actually hit you, and just sort of limits his amount of movement that he can do inside the battlefield. That's going to go for stage 2 as well. It's just way hard to get him next to the wall in stage 2, but excellent if you can. Now when stage 1 comes to a close, stage 2 starts up here. I go ahead and drink my mixed physique at this point, and sort of get that extra little boost. He almost always stands there long enough to go ahead and run up there and get a few little pokes with the Scarlet Rot Rapier, because you're going to want to build up that Scarlet Rot as fast as possible. And at this point, you're simply going to do the exact same strategy. You're simply going to basically tank every single hit. And when you have just simply a half a second, let it down for a second to build that stamina back up. Heal as necessary when he's attacking your Mimic, but really watch that stamina bar and make sure you have enough stamina to continue using your rapier to poke over it to build that Scarlet Rot up. Honestly, if you can get Scarlet Rot built up in the second phase and you just simply keep attacking here and there, Scarlet Rot's going to be probably the saving victory for a lot of players here. Now, there is one move you do have to really watch out for, and it's going to be where he like picks you up and grabs you. If he does this, he's going to put like a little halo above your head, and you have to have the Great Rune of Miquella, and you have to take that immediately afterwards. Otherwise, it's going to be an instant death for you in like 10 seconds or so. I'm not actually sure how long it takes, but I know it's an instant death for you. So just make sure as soon as he does that, you're constantly get over to that item, have it in your quick inventory, press square as fast as possible so you can go and get that taken and you can get that negated and get back into the fight without having to worry about an instant death. If anything, it's actually good when he picks your summon up and does that to him, because you can get behind him and you can start poking away with your rapier. You can't do damage during that exact like cutscene from it or little animation, but you got several hits as the animation's coming to a close as you can get in there, get a lot of damage built up, a lot of Scarlet Rot built up, and it's actually really beneficial. Even if he picks you up, your Mimic can still do that, build Scarlet Rot up, and even if Scarlet Rot's already built up, it's still going to take his health down while he's holding you. So I actually don't mind this animation a whole lot, because it's going to be to your benefit, I'd say, more often than not. And there's actually a second insta-kill move that they can often do on you, where they flap into the air, and they stay up in the air for a little while, and they come crashing down with a massive explosion. And if you just simply run to the left or the right and just keep a straight direction going, you will avoid its attack. But also, while they're up in the air, watch the HP bar. Their health continues to go down because they're infected with Scarlet Rot. So it's actually to your benefit if they do this move once you've infected them with the Rot here. Now, it's not like a crazy long animation, but hey, it's some free hits on them and brings you that much closer to a victory. But anytime they go up in the air like this, just simply pick a direction and run as fast as possible to get out of the line of the explosion. And just like I mentioned in phase 1, if you can keep it next to the wall, great, because it does limit the amount of movements that he can do here. But also it does block a few of his holy attacks he's going to shoot at you from a distance as well. Not all of them, but a few of them here and there. And if you just simply keep this strategy up, do the tank build, do my shield rot method that I called here, you'll have defeated pretty much in no time. But I'll put my stats on the screen here as well in case you wanted to respec your character. And here's once again a shot of everything I had from the build. And I'm telling you, if you do all of this, it's pretty much a guaranteed victory against Radahn and Miquella here. Great fight, but my lord, if you don't use this build, it is tough. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure and like, subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos, list stuff above, and by all means, go out there, find a great game to play, simply have a great rest of the day.
If we honor our part of the vow, promise me you'll be my consort.